Hello, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ivan Simpson, and for today, I will talk about the introduction for our topic. The case discusses the data sovereignty and algorithmic ethics crisis involving TikTok and its parent company ByteDance between 2022 and 2024. TikTok is a global short-form video platform that uses a powerful recommendation algorithm to analyze large amount of users and data and personalize content on the For You page, also known as FYP. However, the company faced serious ethical and legal concerns regarding how it collects, accesses, and uses user data. An internal investigation revealed that some employees had misissued internal system access to track the private data of journalists, including their IP addresses and GPS location. This incident raised global concern about privacy violations, accountability, and responsible and data management in information system, leading to investigations by regulators and governments. Alright, so I will be answering for question A. What problem occurred? The main problem was the misissue of private user data and lack of proper ethical control over information systems. Employees at ByteDance access sensitive data using a special access known as God View to track journalists' locations and identify possible internal information leaks. This action violated privacy principles and demonstrated weaknesses in the company's internal controls and ethical governance. Additionally, concerns were raised about TikTok's aggressive data collection practices and algorithm transparency, which could potentially expose personal information and influence user behavior. Alright, for question B, who was involved and affected? In this case, several parties were involved or affected, especially TikTok, the social media platform whose system and data policies were under scrutiny. Secondly, ByteDance employees, some staff members in the internal audit and risk control department who accessed the journalists' private data. Also, journalists from organizations like Forbes and Financial Times. Their personal data and location information were tracked without authorization. And for the fourth one is TikTok user worldwide, potentially affected due to concerns about privacy and data protection. Last but not least, government and regulators investigated the company for possible violations of data protection law and ethical standards. So that's all from me.
Next is why the issue occurred. The crisis was triggered by a combination of ethical failures, systemic flaws, and regulatory breaches. One of the key reasons is unauthorized surveillance and data misuse. Employees at ByteDance use a God view access level to monitor the IP addresses and GPS locations of Western journalists to identify internal leakers. Next is systemic architecture flaws. The information system was designed with overprivileged access, allowing internal audit teams to bypass standard privacy standards. This highlighted a failure in responsibility by the engineers and architects who built the system. Next is the failure of privacy by design. TikTok failed to protect vulnerable users, specifically children. Profiles were set to public by default, and the family pairing feature lacked sufficient age and or relationship verification. Besides that is aggressive data collection. The app's notoriously aggressive collection of data, including keystroke patterns, biometric identifiers, and clipboard data, raised significant privacy concerns. Lastly is algorithmic ethics. These were concerns regarding the black box algorithm's impact on cognitive privacy, specifically its potential to detect exacerbate mental health issues like depression or body dysmorphia, like in teenagers. Next question is, where the issue occurred. The crisis was a global event with specific impacts in the following locations, such as the United States. TikTok faced intense scrutiny from the US House Energy and Commerce Committee. This led to Project Texas, an initiative to move US user data servers owned by Oracle within the US to ensure data sovereignty. Next country is the European Union. The Irish Data Protection Commission (DPC) imposed a massive fine of £345 million, approximately to $370 million, for breaches of the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR) related to children's data privacy. And lastly is China. As the home of TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, the jurisdiction of the Chinese government was central to the debate over whether the state could regularly compel the company to share international user data.
When did the issue or case occur? The issue occurred between 2022 and 2024. The crisis started in late 2022 when an internal investigation revealed that TikTok employees had accessed private data of several Western journalists without authorization. The issue continued with government investigations and legal actions through 2023 and 2024. How did the issue or case happen? The issue happened when a specialized internal team at ByteDance scanned unauthorized access to journalists' private data. Employees used a tool called GovView to monitor the journalists' IP addresses and GPS location data. They compared these locations with TikTok employees' locations to identify workers who might be leaking information to the media. This misuse of access controls led to a serious breach of privacy and ethical responsibility.
In conclusion, the TikTok case from the year 2022 to 2024 shows that even the most successful apps can get into serious trouble if they don't protect the users' data. By allowing staff to spy on journalists and failing to protect kids' privacy, TikTok lost the trust of many governments and users due to their invasive action. This led to massive fines in Europe and the threats of being banned in the US. To fix this, the TikTok had to spend $1.5 billion on Project Texas to keep the data safe. The main lesson here is that for any tech company, being honest and following privacy laws is just as important as having a good algorithm.
According in the case, ethical issues in information system is related to privacy, responsibility, accountability, liability, and due process. For privacy, this raises concern because users may not fully know how their personal data is being collected and used. Ethical issues for responsibility. Employees misuse their system access for unethical purpose, violating professional responsibility. Ethical issues for accountability. Executives must be accountable for how their company manages users' data and system operation. Ethical issues for liability. Failure to protect user data leads to legal and financial penalty. Ethical issues for due process. Legal action must follow fair and transparent procedure.